All right. In today's video, I kind of wanted to go a little bit more over some of the decisions and like how to get ourselves to take different decisions, make different decisions, take different decisions. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I put like we are the sum total of the decisions we have made up into this point in our life to get where we are today. And if we would have made different decisions, we might be somewhere else, but we're not. We are right here, and there's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is be where we're at and set an aim for somewhere different, or put a goal, or whatever it is that you want to do. It's like the insanity thing where you're expecting different results, but you're doing the same thing. Like you can't get different results if you don't do something different because the results that you're getting is what you've already done. So that's why I was kind of looking at some of these things is like my coach teach me to like set goals, take action, uh, pay attention to the results you're getting, and if you don't like the results, do something different. So again, it seems simple, and it is very simple, but it sometimes is very hard to do because sometimes we get discouraged from our results, and then we think we can't do it. And then in the past, we've gotten results. That's why we haven't done something different. Like I know in my own personal life, I used to say to myself that it didn't work before. Why is it going to work now? But again, it didn't work before. It doesn't mean just because it didn't work before, it doesn't mean it won't work in the future or now. It's just that maybe our approach, maybe maybe we didn't do some of the things we needed to do. Like again, I wasn't going to get anywhere. I wasn't going to get. You're not going to like for me personally. I wasn't comfortable with public speaking, but I was never going to be comfortable with it until I realized that you just have to start. And even if you are uncomfortable, you still just have to keep doing it because, again, like I said, I've seen some great speakers in these courses I've been taking over the last few years, and some of them weren't very good in the beginning, and a few of them were actually worse than I was. So that like kind of gave me the confidence to actually keep pushing through and keep trying and keep doing it and eventually get on here. I'm still not 100% to where I want to be, but I'm a lot closer than I was when I started. I was like now I can kind of get in the flow and just talk. Before I was always wondering what am I going to say? What if they don't like what I got to say? You have all these negative thoughts. Everybody has all these negative thoughts in their head. We all do. It's just it's part of what the ego, the brain, the mind, like it does. It's that imposter self. And like they like to say that some people have said that it's because of our primitive survival brain that we've had, that it's trying to keep us from disappointment. It's trying to keep us from, getting hurt, or it's trying to help us survive, but it's not helping us thrive. It's like, well, wait a second. What if you're judged? Well, what if you're this? What if you don't make it? What if you don't make enough money? What if you fail? And like, there's all these things that go on in your head, and you create circumstances of why it won't work, why it can't be done, why you're gonna fail. It didn't work in the past was one of them. So how is it going to work in the future? And then we end up not doing it. I used to even like sometimes just come up with I still do it today, like tell somebody my ideas, and then just because they don't think it'll work doesn't mean it won't work. But then sometimes I used to let that stop me from doing it. And you can't do that. Just because someone else doesn't have the vision that you have, or the knowledge, or like they're not you. Sometimes you have a vision that was given to you that you need to follow through on no matter what anybody else says. Think of some of the greatest people in history. They didn't listen to what other people said. They did it anyway. And because they had a calling inside them, a burning in their soul. And sometimes, you just got to go with it and see what happens. Lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going with all that. But anyway, uh, so like the four-step process is know your outcome. Like, what is it you want to create? Where is it you want to go? What it is you want to do? You have to know that. You have to set a goal. Like mine is to create a course at some point. I'm not going to put a deadline on it because I don't want to tell everything, but like that would be a goal. Like, what is okay now? Two, get yourself to take action. Do stuff, do little things every day, big or small. Some days they're going to be small, some days they're going to be big, and keep going no matter what. That's why I try to do the journaling and the meditation every day. And then some days I get on here and do videos. Some days I don't. Some days I'll do some notes. Some days I don't. And then some days, then the day eventually will get here where I create the course and then put it on here. But again, it's little by little, step by step, moment by moment. And again, we're going to have all these things, in between that stop us from doing it. We have to keep doing it. And like, and sometimes you just have to take a day off too. Like there's some days where I'm just like, all right, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm just gonna, chill today. I still do my meditation and journaling, but I don't like put too much emphasis on anything else. And then I kind of chill. And then every once in a while, there's even like I'll even take a week off because sometimes you need to have that recharge. We can't. We're in a society that's instant gratification. Go 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 go, and it's like chill out. It's like you do the best you can. And again, if you feel like you have to do that, yeah, but sometimes like being so stressed out about it, about not getting everything done that you wanted to, your to-do list and all that. Sometimes even being stressed out about that makes you less creative because you're so stressed out about it. Stress sometimes like stops creativity. That's why I meditate to help with stress. Because sometimes when you're really stressed out, it just, your mind's too jumbled up, and then you don't get that free flow of energy, that free flow of creativity coming through you. You got to open that channel up. But anyway, so and then uh, and then pay attention to what's going on. Like I look at some of my videos, they get a lot of views, some of them don't. So now I kind of got to look and see. Like I feel like sometimes the titles are some are good and some are not. Some are seem interesting, some are not. But then I feel like there's good content in everyone. But sometimes you get, people got so much time, only got so much time because, like I was just talking about, so they want to make sure that they're at least getting, good content or something they want. But so all of them have good little things in them that I've, taught or learned over the last few years. So it just, I got to find a way to go back over them and stuff. So that's like paying attention to my results and then figure out what it is about the ones that get a lot of views and maybe kind of draw off that and go back and do better. And then, yeah, that's the change the approach. Like that's the fourth step is change the approach. And then if you're not getting the results that you want, go back and change whatever it is. And then I was also looking at some other ways, like, because that's this, four steps, but what else do we got to do? And that's what it says big or small, they all add up. And you're the only one that can do it. I mean, again, no one's coming to save us. I mean, it would be nice if they were. The government's not coming, you know. We're the ones that have to, the only ones that can change our reality is us. And all it does is start with a decision, big or small. So maybe a habit, create one habit here, one habit there, and let them build on each other. Just any little thing will add up. Any little thing creates momentum. And, that's why some days when I take some time off, I have to get back on here, and that starts the first step. And then do it. Like, and, and again, too, like, one of the things they say here, too, is like visualize your success. See yourself as already completing it. See it done. See yourself celebrating the victory, the achievement, or whatever it is you want to do, the excitement, the joy, like all that stuff. Seeing it in your mind just does something. It helps reinforce your goals. It helps motivate you to take action. When you can see it and your brain sees it enough and you keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, your reticular activating system will figure out a way to do it while you're not even paying attention. And you'll get like little cues here and there, little thoughts come up. It's just that and I'm guilty of it too. Just most of the time when those things come up, we just think, whatever. And it's actually our brain trying to guide us to the actions and the results that we're looking for. or the experience that we want to have. It's just that we're not used to it because we've never been taught this. But it's there, and I'm getting better at it. It's just that in the beginning, I knew about it, but I didn't really pay attention to these cues. And now sometimes when I get these little ideas, I'm like, all right, I got to get on here and do something or write down or whatever. It's like we expect the results overnight. It doesn't come overnight. It's a process. You have to keep going. And sometimes it's two steps forward, one step back. It's just that we have to like develop cultivate resilience. We have to develop the ability to bounce back from our setbacks no matter what. You know, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. And just because you got knocked down doesn't mean you can't get back up and do something better. You know, we can always do it. It's just that we have to not stay down. We got to be resilient and realize that sometimes that process of being knocked down, while you're down, you sit there and start to ponder some of the things that got you here. Or and then, sometimes like they say, there's no once you're knocked down, there's no place to go but up. So why not, learn something? And that's the thing is learn something. Maybe try different things. I would like start to watch different videos of different people and see how they did it. And then I started going to Toastmasters at one point, if I wanted to get over public speaking. And then I just got on here and started doing it. I even did some videos myself where I didn't post them in the beginning because I was just practicing doing them. And that's part of this too. That's why I try to do so many videos, because I'm just trying to get better at it. It's the process, and then I hope in this process it's helping other people too, and having an impact on you guys to see my process and what I've went through, to give you some like encouragement that just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean that you can't get there, and just because you haven't got there before doesn't mean you can't get there in the future. Maybe you just gotta, like I said, pay attention to the results and change your approach. It's just that most of the time we think that it's not going to work out. And trust me, I did that for years. That's why it took me so long to get on here. And now that I'm here, I'm just, trying to keep going little by little, step by step, day by day. And two, and stay flexible too. It is good to like try to at least set a goal. Like I had a goal of have so many videos done by the end of last month, but I didn't get there. So I changed it to just try to get a few done, at least two or three done each week at least, because then at least it doesn't put too much pressure on me. And then I figure once I get steady doing that, then I can add more. And then steady doing that, then add some more. That's why I'm saying these little habits stack on each other. These little things create momentum. You don't have to do the big thing right off the bat. You might not have the big idea right off the bat. And a lot of the people that do stuff like this, they just start and then eventually the idea comes to them when they get there. Like, Dean started with, flipping cars, flipping real estate. Now he's in self-development, personal development, personal growth. And he never saw himself being there in the beginning. He just wanted to create something. And then all of a sudden one day he met, saw Tony Robbins, was like, wow, I like this dude, and there's something about him. I want to learn this stuff. And that's kind of like me. I've been doing self-development, personal health, and like I did like integrative studies with mind body, like how they work together, and stress, and how to use the body and mind to help with stress. That's kind of what I did in college. And then this stuff kind of just grew on me with spirituality and personal development kind of. And then I ended up here. So for me, it's just you never know, but you got to do something small and then just see where it goes. But if you never start, then you're never going to get anywhere. And there's a good saying, God, I just heard it yesterday, and I can't remember what it is, but like I think it's like you don't have to be perfect to start, but you don't really want to be perfect though. I mean, obviously perfect moments are good, but I still think perfection is like in moments, not it doesn't stay. I believe there's perfect moments, but I don't think we can be always be perfect, because if we were, we wouldn't be here. That's part of being human, is that we're not perfect. It's just that we sometimes think that we have to be perfect, that we should be perfect, and when we're not, then we get down on ourselves. And I think that's a kind of a design in the system to make us stay down sometimes. because then it's like we feel shame and guilt for some of the stuff that we do. No, it depends on what you do after the process. Like if you mess up, if you keep messing up, yeah, then you're probably not doing good. But if you sit there and say, "Oh man, I messed up," what? And sometimes you have to realize that you have to mess up to kind of feel that, like, "Oh my God, I feel like terrible about it." Okay, well, how can I be better in the next time? How can I be better the next situation? I messed up. But if you can't admit to being messed up and you don't mess up, then you can't learn from it and move forward and be better. So, yeah, so you don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start to be perfect. I don't know if I like perfect in that word, but we'll go with it because that's the only one I'm thinking of right now. So, and then too, celebrate progress. Like again, it is, man. Celebrate your progress. Every small little win, getting on here and doing a video before I go out is, it's just something small, and it helps you feel better. Like I was debating whether I was going to get on here and do one. I said, you know what, I better just get on here and do one, because then at least it'll be done, and then I can go about the rest of my day and go have fun with some friends in a little bit here. And so, but like they always tell us, like, even like when you get to 100 followers, celebrate, or just even getting a video done, celebrate. Do something, because then you get used to it. And then always the growth mindset. Just know that even though, instead of looking at things as bad, like Tony always likes to say, life's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And that's kind of like the a good saying for the growth mindset, to realize that even when bad things happen to us, maybe it is opportunities for us to develop new skills, knowledge, grow from it. Like I said a minute ago, you know, I messed up. Why not? I figure it out. This action didn't work. I kind of lost my cool in this situation. Any little things are an opportunity to, grow and be better. So, but at the end of the day, it all, like, Trent's always in my head. It all starts with you, and it does. It's because it's so right. He just started saying it, and it's always in my head that it all starts with us. That you're the only one that can do these things. You're the only one that can create these things, and realize that it's not going to happen overnight. That you just got to keep going no matter what. Stay resilient. Stay flexible. Look for feedback, set goals, have a vision, visualize yourself, celebrate your progress, keep learning no matter what. Um, yeah, and just do the best you can in every moment. Sometimes it's going to be good enough, sometimes it's not. But all we can do is give it a shot and see what happens and see the results and try to be better, try to adjust it, try to tweak it a little bit, and hopefully get where you want to go, because there's always a path to get there. And just because you haven't done it in the past doesn't mean you can't do it now. You just got to start. You just got to start somewhere, do little things every day, see where you pay attention to everything, and see what happens. So, like and subscribe. uh, any comments, anything. I believe this information is good, and I feel like we all have the ability to do it. So enjoy the rest of your day.